In the headlines, Bello factory employees on the bread line with no indication as to when the company will resume operations. Joshua Francis reinstated as UWP's deputy leader 2 years after he was booted out of that post. And Joseph Isaac about to have his first day in Parliament as the newest Minister of Government. I am Andrea Louis with the Channel 5 News. Back with the details after this.
Do you need more cash for that home improvement? Then come to Fast Cash, where we give you more. At Fast Cash, our customers get more funds and more time to repay. But wait, can't come to us? We'll come to you, and our mobile officer will get you on your way. Small businesses, consumers, and taxi owners, Fast Cash has more for everyone. Simply call or visit any of our locations for more, smarter, faster, better. Fast Cash. Terms and conditions apply.
Rudolph Thomas Enterprise in Portsmouth, your suppliers of building materials and hardware products. Over 20 years experience in the business. Rudolph Thomas has lumber and plywood, galvanized and fenced pipe. Check out Rudolph Thomas for ceramic and vinyl floor and wall tiles, nails, nuts and bolts, paint and painting supplies. And check out their line of electrical and hand tools. Go now to Rudolph Thomas on 1240 Bay Street in Portsmouth.
Thank you for staying with us. First up, the country's only large-scale agro-processing company remains at a standstill with no word from management on whether there are plans to resume operations. Iduna John-Baptist explains.
7 months ago, when Hurricane Maria devastated the country, its impact also destroyed any lucrative prospects for P.W. Bellot and Company, the manufacturers of Bello products. The company's managing director, Michael Fagan, who relocated to New York with his family after the disaster, made it known in a public Facebook post last October that he was starting from scratch. Fagan told his social media network that he was looking for a means of short-term income while he decides to rebuild his business in the right way and see how he can collect or raise funds to rebuild. In the meantime, he said he had to get his wife and children back to normalcy. However, staff of the Castle Comfort-based Bello factory is on the breadline, with no word from management to read their official employee status.
When I do check on him, he was went away to me. All of a sudden, like up to now, I can't hear about him. He don't give us no letter to say like he fire us or he terminate us. Then we go to Labor Division trying something for us, and up to now we don't hear nothing yet about him. Last week I go to the union. The union tell me, well, they're trying to get him.
Even before Hurricane Maria, staff was being owed salaries. In Vigilance case, he said he did not receive pay for 5 fortnights.
Before the hurricane, we had an order, and the workers worked so very hard. I always tell them, ladies, let us do what we have to do, and let's work like as a team. We're working like a team, and when to get our money, my thing, we doesn't get our money. And we just there, I do working, my co-workers and the working, and it's me the pressuring. Like remember, me and the substitute, I have 26 years working. The workers and them have some white meat have 30 years, 36 years, and our leave nothing. We just have nothing. All I want to do, I want Michael to do now. The workers is on the frustration. They have no job, nothing, and then we just want him to come down and talk to us and give us our money.
But Fagan, according to his explanation on Facebook, said that his bank in Dominica was in ruins post-Hurricane Maria and he had no access to the small amount in his U.S. accounts at the time. For Laura Sandy, she needs answers about her gratuity and Social Security benefits, having been employed with the company for 25 years.
Also at home for the past few 7 or 8 months at home, without a salary, without anything, without any benefit, anything, neither from Social Security, nothing, because I'm looking for employment. I went to the ministry when the Prime Minister said that he will employ people that lose their job. So I'm still there seeking for employment. Yes, we went to Social Security. All what they're telling us is Michael Fagan have to sign the papers for us to get our benefit.
Employees and the trade union representing them have also made contact with the company's human resource manager. However, she has referred them to Fagan. Channel 5 News has tried making contact with Fagan through social media and telephone, but to no avail. While expressing his gratitude for an emergency fund set up to help his family, Fagan said he left the island after putting systems in place to live to fight another day with intention to return shortly. He said prior to the hurricane, he was out of the country on vacation and medical leave and returned to Dominica in August with new supplies, raw materials and packaging for the plant with intentions to fulfill orders and flood the market with the product. Idona John Baptist, Channel 5 News.
In related news, the Waterfront and Allied Workers Union had to bring the concerns of the employees of Bello Factory to the Division of Labor as a solution still lingers on the matter. WAWO's officer, Ahmad Thomas, says he has been in contact with the company's managing director, awaiting his return to meet with staff.
Well, the staff now are all confused because they have not been hearing anything from management since the passage of Hurricane Maria. Well, on the 20th of December, I had a conversation with the HR via telephone, and she said it's Mr. Fagan, who is the manager, who is supposed to deal with the matter, because the employees have been owed wages as far as 3 fortnights prior to Hurricane Maria, and this has not been honored.
Thomas said after finally making contact with Fagan, he expressed intentions of meeting with staff on the 22nd of December, but he said the trade union was unaware that the managing director was not on island at the time.
He now asked me to hold on a while because he is planning to keep a meeting with the employees on the 21st of December. And then he wanted to meet the employees on the 22nd, which was not sufficient time to mobilize the employees, no means of communication. So I asked him to use DBS to promote it so that we can get more time to meet the employees, which he said, of course, we'll do that. And there was no word from Mr. Fagan again.
Thomas says he has been communicating with Fagan on WhatsApp, a dialogue which he showed us proof of. WAWO has brought the employees' concerns to the authorities.
On the February 20th, a delegation of employees met with the officials at the Ministry of Labor concerning their matter, and up to this time nothing can be done because management is out of state. I know the HR is in state, but she refers everything to top management.
Has Mr. Fagan expressed any plans to resume operations?
None whatsoever. All he said is that the plant has been mashed up, he's waiting for some money, and when he gets the money, he will have to come. He will start to do work on the plant. But for the time being, nothing has been said, no guarantee, no word of encouragement.
In other news, the General Secretary of the Dominica Hucksters Association believes Hurricane Maria provided the country with an opportunity to put in place measures that should have been enacted years ago. Cecil Joseph says now is the time for Dominica to get fully on board with its fresh produce export bill, as it will improve the quality of produce exported from Dominica.
We have the fresh produce export bill. It has been, we've been tardy in terms of implementing it, but now there is action in the marketplace. We know how, when we get back in, there's going to be competition, so it will not be a matter of business like before. We now have to be able to present good-looking product. We have to be able to present attractive product. We have to be able to send produce in packages which are attractive. And if we're not going to do that, then it's going to be very difficult.
Joseph explained that due to government's latest initiatives and incentives to farmers, there will be an abundance of fresh produce for export, and steps must be taken to guarantee the good quality of the crop.
We have already indicated to the Ministry of Trade that we must implement the fresh produce bill, because when it's coming in, when we implement it, the bill was passed somewhere in 2009. Over the past 3-4 years, we have had a lot of sensitization programs being conducted by DEXIA, DHA, the Bureau of Standards, and the Ministry of Agriculture. So there has been sensitization programs on. And so we would like, when that happens, that Dominica will come in with produce which is well presented.
While looking at the visual appeal of the crop, Joseph pointed out that the type of boat used to export produce needs to be upgraded in order to ensure high-quality produce reaches outside markets.
But I think if we're talking about good produce, and we have old-type boats, we will say to the old-type boats, well, we're sorry, we cannot use you as before, you have to do some form of improvement. We understand that there was some money in the budget over the past few years of $500,000, which would be needed. And I think that there are other facilities. For example, it has been possible for us to use tropical to send produce out, and it has arrived. There are challenges to using refrigerated containers, in that when you use them, you cannot open this stuff out on the other side. But that it means that you have to keep the cool chain throughout. And so there are a number of people who have been exporting.
In other developments, Dominica's indigenous people are hoping to see a sizable increase in their emergency response fund come the next financial year. The announcement of the establishment of a Kainago Emergency Response Fund was made during Kainago Week 2016. The aim of this fund was to help individuals in the Salibe constituency, especially the senior citizens who were in dire need of medical assistance. Minister with responsibility for Kainago affairs, Cassius Daru, says the fund has been useful to the Kainago people.
If someone is from the constituency and they're visiting your office, they may have gone to the doctor, for example, and the person only requires $80, maybe to do a simple blood test or to do a scan. It's a little bit embarrassing to ask from the Ministry of Finance to help us with that $80. So the PAL reps now must push their hands in their pockets and help these individuals. And if you do this over a month's period, you will realize how much it is taken away from you. So this emergency fund, it is really helping us, because it is something that can be done almost instantly. So the person will bring in the invoice from the doctor, whatever is required to be done, the ministry will contact his or her doctor and say, okay, please go ahead and provide your services to him or her, and the ministry will pay for it. And we have done that several times.
The Kainago Emergency Response Fund was initially financed with over $50,000. Daru hopes to see an increase in this amount for the 2018-2019 financial year.
The emergency fund was part of the draft estimates for 2017-2018. And the people from the community, they have been using this fund. So we are actually spending, we had $60,000 approved for this fund in its initial starting phase to see how things work out. And individuals are benefiting from it. Okay, great. And we're looking forward to even increase it in this upcoming budget.
You are watching the Channel 5 News. Stay tuned for much more after the break.
M&J Covering is the producer of designed galvanized and galvalume in Dominica. They design to your specifications, color and length, 4 styles of galvanized and galvalume pre-painted roofing sheets as requested, and supply all your galvalume accessories. M&J Covering helps you control spending and reduce waste. At M&J Covering, they are also equipped to build your roof to precise standards anywhere on island. So come to M&J Covering at 1 Mile in Portsmouth or call 445-5001 275-5003 today.
There are signs everywhere. Pay attention whether you're male or female. Visit your health center to get screened. It's a preliminary test to determine if you are exposed to the HIV virus, an STI, or tuberculosis. Some people who are HIV positive also have tuberculosis. But there's hope. Tuberculosis can be cured. And yes, you can live a full life with HIV. Talk to your doctor. Be responsible. Help stop the spread of TB, HIV. Encourage everyone to get tested.
Welcome back. Leader of the opposition United Workers' Party has appealed to the electorate to give change a try. Linton was re-elected party leader at a delegates conference in Granford on Sunday. The opposition leader told the delegates the UWP presided over the busiest, most productive, most successful, people-centered single-term in government in Dominica's history. He pointed to the introduction of the World Creole Music Festival and the start of work on an international airport as among indications of that success.
Let's give change a try so that the power of the people and the money of the people entrusted to politicians in government will be used for the benefit of the people and not for the enrichment of politicians in government. Let's give change a try to rev up the engines of agriculture, tourism, construction, manufacturing, services, renewable energy, and cultural industries to drive strong, sustainable economic growth. Let's give change a try for the thousands of young people yearning for real jobs to anchor the advancement of their lives in freedom and human dignity. Let's give change a try so that no Dominican employed in Dominica will have to work for less than $1,000 a month. Let's give change a try so that our senior citizens can enjoy their twilight years in comfort, peace, and safety. Let's give change a try for the thousands of professionals, nurses, doctors, teachers, lawyers, police officers, and other public officers who simply want to do their jobs for reasonable pay in a life-supporting environment free from political interference, harassment, and intimidation.
Joshua Francis has been re-elected deputy political leader of the party, a position he lost 2 years ago. Isaac Baptist is now party president, a position previously held by Ronald Charles. Glenroy Soso Coffey will be the new candidate for Roseau Central, replacing Joseph Isaac. Hector John is vice president and Nicholas George is general secretary. The UWP is celebrating 30 years as a political party this year. Supplementary estimates of expenditure for 2017-2018 amounting to $85,344,000 expected to be approved at the House of Assembly on Tuesday.
The Prime Minister is also expected to put on the table estimates of expenditure for the financial year ending 30th June 2017 in the amount of $82,851,000. A number of bills will go through their second and third readings, among them an act to amend the Income Tax Act and the Stamp Act, one to amend the Title by Registration Act and the Police Act, and the Alien Land Holding Regulation Act No. 17 of 1995 will also be amended. An act to provide for the establishment of the Eastern Caribbean Partial Credit Guarantee Corporation, and a bill seeking to establish an agency to provide urgent public support and relief to people in need. The Prime Minister is expected to answer questions from the opposition on the Citizenship by Investment Program and debt forgiveness by Venezuela. Former UWP Member of Parliament for Roseau Central, Joseph Isaac, will enter Parliament for the first time as a Minister of Cabinet. Parliament last met in emergency session in October 2017 following the devastation caused by Hurricane Maria.
And Mayor of Roseau, Irene John, says the city is not quite ready for the 2018 hurricane season. The mayor commended the level of cleanup works in the city in the weeks and months following Hurricane Maria, but says a lot more remains to be done to properly prepare the city for the 2018 hurricane season.
We need to make sure that all our gutters are clean. We need to tackle the manholes to make sure that the major manholes, to make sure that they are cleared of debris, because and we want to have to make sure that our storm drains are cleared. In order to deal with some of the situation, we need to get equipment into the storm drains to clear them, because if the storm drains are clear, you'll have less blockages, and of course the blockages causes flooding. So we need to look at that, make sure that all our manholes are cleared, our storm drains are cleared, you know, and that can sort of alleviate some of the problems that we have as far as flooding in the city.
John says one of the hindrances to thoroughly cleaning the city is that of limited resources.
We are handicapped in some cases in that we need more manpower, we need machinery, we need some trucks, you know. We need certain equipments to assist us to do certain things that we have to do. Some of the streets are clean, the streets are cleared, but there are houses, nooks and crannies where we have to go in to clean, and we do not have the capacity to do that.
Mayor John believes more stakeholders need to join forces to chart the way forward for the development of the city of Roseau.
I am very happy for the Ministry of Tourism and the government at large for the help that they give us in the city, but we need to work together. You know, we need to get together, the Ministry of Tourism, Public Works, and the city, get together and put a plan in place as to how we're going forward to continue to do the work that is needed to be done in the city.
That's news. Stay tuned for your sports highlights with Kenny Williams.
First up in sports, national basketball action to resume in May after close to 8 months of no games. The Kelvadaru Basketball League is expected to run over a 2-month period and features 12 teams.
Sport, I believe, continues to play an integral role in the lives of our young people. And that is why, since the hurricane, as a member of Parliament for St. Joseph constituency, I have taken it as a personal responsibility to see sports being revived, not just in my constituency, but for the country. And also being a basketball player myself, and having a keen interest in the sport, along with a committee that I put in place, we decided to organize a basketball league in the community of St. Joseph that will be on a national scale.
Main sponsor Honorable Kelvadaru is optimistic that the competition will attract many teams and produce top quality basketball for the fans.
The team which wins the Ballarama champions, they will receive a trophy and also a cash prize of $500. That's for the Ballarama prize, the top prize for the Ballarama. So they will receive a trophy and a cash prize of $500. And also the league winners will receive a cash prize of $4,000. The second place team will receive $2,000, and the third place team $1,000, among all the trophies for MVPs, for the top scorers and so forth. So we'll have a very colorful trophy presentation at the end of the league. In terms of the prizes and so forth, you can probably look at about in everything for the league, ballroom and everything, about $10,000 of a prize.
The teams are expected to be separated into 2 zones and play in a round-robin format following the Ballarama. Then the top 2 teams from each zone will qualify for the semi-finals and compete on a best-of-3 format. Finally, the winners of the semis will then play in the final on a best-of-5 format. The teams expected to be featured in the Honorable Kelvadaru Basketball League are crossover, 2 teams from Blazers, Pishley Sports Club Falcons, Trafalgar Prowlers, Clouds, Honorable Kelvadaru Hurricanes, Old School, Snipers, Team Ice Cream, LA Knights, and Police Sports Club. All games are expected to be played at the St. Joseph Hardcourt among Friday, Saturday, and Sunday nights. Next up, a historic moment for West Indies when pink ball cricket comes to the Caribbean this year. Sri Lanka's tour of West Indies is scheduled to run from May 30 to June 23, where the ball will be used in the test matches. West Indies captain Jason Holder says its introduction to the Caribbean means a home advantage for his team. Holder hopes the team's experience with the pink ball will give it the advantage in the Sri Lanka tour of West Indies.
It's obviously a great event to the game. We've obviously had the opportunity to play a few pink ball test matches before, and we've relished the opportunity, but it's something that we still need some adjusting to, time to get adjusted to, and it's just a matter of us in the Caribbean to take it on board. I'm pleased to be taking part in another one, and being on home soil here in Barbados and in the Caribbean, it means a lot, so it's great to have it here in the Caribbean, and hopefully we can win this one here at Kensington Oval.
The tour begins with a tour match at Brian Lara Cricket Ground in Trinidad from May 30 to June 1. The first test is carded for Queen's Park Oval in Trinidad between June 6 and 10. The second test will be at Darren Sammy Cricket Ground in St. Lucia between July 14 and 18, and the final test will culminate at Kensington Oval in Barbados from June 23 to 27. Meantime, with less than 400 days to go, fast bowling remains a priority for West Indies as preparation continues for the 2019 Cricket World Cup. This according to a recent Windies press release. In this regard, Cricket West Indies will assemble 10 of the best young and upcoming fast bowlers in the region. They will participate in a fast bowling camp from April 30 to June 30 in Antigua. The camp will focus on a high-performance program which will hasten the bowlers' development, aimed at getting them ready for international cricket while preparing them to be available for selection on the Windies senior and A teams. Additionally, Windies has 4 away international series and another round of its premier regional competitions before the 2019 Cricket World Cup. The bowlers selected for this camp include Dominic Drakes, Kemar Holder, Keon Joseph, Shemron Lewis, Jeremiah Lewis, Kimo Paul, Raymond Reefer, Romario Shepherd, Odin Smith and O'Shane Thomas. The camp will be based at the Coolidge Cricket Ground in Antigua, home of West Indies cricket. On the local cricket scene, defending intermediate champion Sagicor General Somerset Sports Club continued their good run with a massive win over Summit Sports Club on the weekend. Somerset won the toss and elected to bat and scored 227 all out. C. Moses smashed a decent 66 with support from Bradley Byam 56, J. Joseph 20 and Nikoi Barry 21 in 39.1 overs. Bowling for Summits, we had Jamie John Baptist 4 for 42 in 7.1 overs, Jashon Vidal 2 for 22 in 6 overs, Tyrese Liebler 2 for 39 in 6 overs, and Stefan Pascal 2 for 8 in 3 overs. Set 228 to win, Summits crumbled beneath a lethal Somerset bowling attack and was limited to just 77 after 24.4 overs. Jamie John Baptist added 24 and Nick Banis 13 to help prop the score. Jeremiah Joseph did most of the damage for Somerset with 3 for 15 in 5.5 overs. Nikoi Barry was also instrumental in his team's victory with 2 for 14 in 7 overs and A. Roy 2 for 30 in 7 overs. With those figures, Somerset won the match by 150 runs. Moving on to football, where Central Tornadoes was crowned champions in the inaugural DFA Under-15 Girls Tournament on Saturday. They did so by defeating rivals South Alpha Warriors 4-0 in the first match of a double-header championship at Stock Farm Complex. Sierra Coffey registered a hat-trick for Tornadoes, with Tiffany Sejean scoring 1. In the other match, East Jaguars needed to win by 5 clear goals to secure the championship. However, they went down 2-1 against North Blazers, also at Stock Farm Complex. North Blazers got the runner-up position since they finished with a better goal difference. Star Humphreys netted both goals for Blazers, while Kezi Vigilance scored for East Jaguars. The inaugural competition kicked off earlier this year with 4 teams participating. Following the tournament, a squad is expected to be selected for training to participate in the CONCACAF Under-15 Girls Tournament, carded for later this year. We continue with this item where local cyclist Bram Sanderson brought his total number of wins to 2 in Sunday's race. Fresh from his stint at the 2018 Commonwealth Games, Sanderson crossed the finish line 3 minutes ahead of second place to cement his dominance on the road once more. Previously, Bram cited mechanical issues among other reasons for his poor performance in local races, but found renewed vigor to win Sunday's race. Despite his victory, Sanderson's tally of wins is still lower than Koath Baron, who has won 5 out of 8 races put on by the local association this year. Sanderson completed Sunday's race in 1 hour 30 minutes, followed by Koath Baron 1 hour and 33 minutes, then Kevin Boyd approximately 1 hour and 38 minutes. The next national race is carded for May 13. That's all the sporting highlights for now. I am Kenny Williams. Be sure to join us next time.
To end the news, the headlines again. Bello factory employees on the bread line with no indication as to when the company will resume operations. Joshua Francis reinstated as UWP's deputy leader 2 years after he was booted out of that post. And Joseph Isaac about to have his first day in Parliament as the newest Minister of Government. Feel free to contact us at news@marpin2k4.com. You can also access our past newscasts on our YouTube channel. On behalf of the entire production team, I am Andrea Louis, and to all of our viewers around the world, thank you so much for watching. Join us tomorrow.